Peace and blessings. Happy Monday. Monday is the day that governs. The moon governs Monday. The moon and the moon goes with Monday. I don't know why I'm in slow motion this morning. And the moon is in Aries, and the moon will be. It's moving towards the 27th degree of Aries, and where we'll have a full moon on Wednesday morning at just about at 8 a.m. So today is the final day of Mercury's retrograde, where it's been going backwards. It's also the final day of Jupiter's retrograde, where it has been going backwards. And the moon is in Aries. And this is the thing that I love about the universe is the geometry and the symmetry of it, because it always lines up. So it's like Aries means that there is a new beginning. There is a fresh start. New energy is coming. Aries is like the spring. And so we have a full moon in Aries in a couple of days. And so literally it's all hands on deck. Let's get going, right? It's really a thrust forward. Now with Mercury in opposition in Libra to Aries. So it's really important. I think it's really important to understand where this stuff is going on in your chart, because then you get to see where the energy really is coming. So for me, Libra has been in my seventh house, or it is in my seventh house. And so I have been really working on realigning my mind and my ways of being around the way I do relationships. It's taken me all the way back to my childhood patterning and the belief systems and the things that I took on in my subconscious that inform the way I relate to others. And now we're about to have a full moon in opposition to where the retrograde has been happening. So this is very, very significant. It's almost as if, like if you live in a house and you come in and you clean everything out of the house, and then the full moon is like, okay, now we're going to bring things back that actually serve us moving forward. And those things might be new. Those things might be some of the things that worked in the past, but we really are in a new cycle. And the thing that's really powerful about this, this stuff is so profound, like the symmetry and the math of it, is that 6 or 7 months ago, we had Mars in Aries when we had the new moon in Aries, which was about 6 months ago. And it was 6 months ago because we're having a full moon. We have a new moon, and then 6 months later we have a full moon. So if you ever really want to understand how these energies work, just know that whatever you plant at the new moon, 6 months from that, it should begin sprouting. So we had Mars, which is about our action and our assertion and how we move through this external world. We had Mars in Aries 6 months ago. Retrograde, no doubt. So we really were creating the new foundation 6 months ago for where we are now. And now we're about to have a full moon in opposition to Mars, Mars is in Libra now. So we're going to have a full moon in opposition to Libra in Aries. And we have had a retrograde. We've had a Mercury retrograde. So all of this new energy is present if you've been doing the work. If you've been doing the work, you're great. But if you have not been doing the work, all the energy will come in, and if you don't have space for it, if you don't have new ideas, new practices, new ways of being, and new intentions, you will just get crowded with all the old stuff. So it'll cause fear and worry and doubt and depression and sadness. So it's really important. That's why I'm always saying how important it is for us to do the work. If you can just imagine, it's like having a garden, and you plant the seeds and then they grow and that garden flourishes, and then you have to uproot all the things that you planted. or prune them or do something to them and plant new seeds so that you can just have a new garden. This is the same thing in our own lives, in our own psyche, right? So if you have done the uprooting in the area of your relationships, in the area of how you relate to the world, in the area of how you are showing up and how you are initiating life and how you feel about yourself, and your own identity, like really being true to your own identity. And Aries is the energy of the baby, right? So it's literally, we get to rewrite our own identity. We get to decide that we want to be, like, I used to be this way and now I'm going to be this. Like, just like, I mean, it might sound crazy, but fucking be whatever you want to be. Like, your identity is yours to choose, to create, to build. And however it is you see yourself from the inside is how you get to create your identity. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody any explanations. You are not tied into what people think of you. You are not tied into how people feel about you. Like, this is what this retrograde was about. It was about letting all of that stuff go so that you can come into your own sense of self. And this full moon in Aries, like, I have Chiron in Aries, I have the North Node in Aries, and I also have Saturn in Aries. So literally, I'm looking at, I'm so aware. Here's what I really am aware of, because I'm not somebody who's in my 20s or 30s. I'm aware of the fact that I'm so grateful that it took me this long to really understand how to use my power correctly. Because I really know that I would have done harm had I not understood. We're coming into a time when the universe is really, things are being destroyed, and because energy doesn't die, it only transforms. It has to be shifted into something else. Now, the thing that's so fascinating about how I see it, it's my perspective, in this country, America, the people who built this country are Black people. Like, they bought Black people from Africa to build the country because we can run the frequency. We have the DNA and the melanin to run the frequencies of that very intense energy that it took to build this country. That's why we came to do it, because it's almost like, you need something strong to run the frequency through, right? So they needed a people who could withstand the diseases and literally thrive in this new environment. So then after the country was built, the people who benefited from it were really white men, right? And white women sort of benefited, but not really, not in the way that they could benefit. But so as Pluto comes into its return and the external authority, which has been white men, is coming undone, the power it doesn't die. It just changes form. So it has to come back to its original creators, the people who can actually hold it, who actually have the strength, the DNA, the melanin, the girth, the spiritual power to hold the energy. If I'm making sense, say something. But if I'm not, okay. So it's really important for Black people who have been in this country through the lineage for 400 years. I'm not talking about people who just got here. And I'm also talking about Black people who are in the diaspora, right? Islands, Haiti, all of that. All of that was from the slave trade, right? So those people, it is important for us to clear out our consciousness, to clear out the trauma, to release the old identities that would have us give our power away, that would have us be linked into systems that drain our power, because those systems are coming undone. And you want to be able to now return the power to yourself so that you can use it as you desire, so that you can use it in ways that actually benefit you and your family and your communities. And this is why it's important for us to do the work to heal ourselves. I'm not in a white body this lifetime, and I don't really have much, I don't have much feeling about how they should be or do. I can't feel it energetically. What I feel energetically is that I just want to be released from my connection and attachment to that system, because I can feel its demise. So I can't really offer any general understanding of how they should move forward, except to do the work to forgive themselves. We all need to forgive ourselves. We all need to forgive ourselves in the ways that we participated and abandoned ourselves and vampired other people's power and ignored systems and situations for our own benefit. We all need to forgive ourselves for those things. So as we do so, the power comes back and we find ourselves in the order by which things should be governed. The order, the divine order, the nature's order by which things should be governed. So the moon is in Aries, and Aries is really about facing your fears, having courage, calling your energy back to you, looking at your childhood patterns, and really just coming and being true to yourself. I know for me, one of the things that I really did appreciate about who I was as a child was that I was very conscious of when people were mistreating other people. It was just a way that I saw the world. Like, I saw the mistreatment. And now, as an adult, I can see those things and I can do something about it. As a child, I didn't really know how to function when I saw that, but now I can do something about it. Yes, absolutely. Forgive yourself. One of the things that I have done is I have been every day holding myself as an infant and loving myself, giving myself the love that I would have wanted my mother to give me. And she wasn't capable of that. So I've been in my imagination loving myself, loving my 10-year-old self, loving my 7-year-old self, and just hanging out with myself. Like, I got you. You're good. Like, we're going to make it through this, and you are going to be more powerful than you can ever imagine that yourself can be. So this is the energy. And the thing that's very significant is we want to begin to hold our inner reality as more powerful than our external reality, because the inner is the feminine. I don't care if you're a person in a man's body or a woman's body. Your inner reality is your feminine reality, and the external reality is the masculine, right? So we want to hold our inner reality as something that is more desirable, because we're going to watch this external world begin to collapse, and the new world has to come from our own imagination, from how we feel about ourselves, from how we relate from within ourselves. So you want to really begin to cultivate inner world stuff. So cultivate rituals that really honor yourself. Practice rituals that really honor the divine in you, the God in you, the goddess in you, all of that sort of stuff, because soon that will come into the external experience. All right. Anything else? Any questions? If you want, you could book a full moon reading with me, and I can look at your chart and tell you where this stuff is going. Look at my sweetie. This is my sweetie Beatie. Hello. Say hello. Say hello. Say hi. Say hello. I just love this little girl. I love her so much. Let me tell you, and she is so naughty. She's not always naughty. She's only naughty when the food is out. When the food is out, let me tell you, she don't play. And sometimes Osset doesn't get to eat because my aunt will eat all of the food. And she's definitely bigger than her too. But isn't she pretty? So let me just say this. My inner self told me to get cats because I needed to really begin to relax myself. And I needed to be able to trust and be present and not be distracted by things. And one of the things that the cats have helped me do is that they are really nimble. So I've really learned how to be nimble in my emotions and not attached to things. That has been really significant for me. They are also very, God, there's so many things, but they've taught me to relax, right? Because, they move through the house without breaking anything. They run really fast and then stop really quickly without destroying anything. And so I've had to really learn how to trust and let go and not control everything. And the cats help me do that. And I used to be allergic to cats before I got them. And literally, I had a dream of a cat. Spirit been telling me to get cats. And I was like, what do you mean get cats? What do you mean get cats? I'm allergic to cats. How can I get cats? And then I saw in my dream a picture of a Siamese cat that looks like this little baby right here. And when I started looking online for the cats, I found them. And like literally, they're like my ancestors come back to life. I'm so clear about it. They literally are here to protect me. And my allergies cleared up. Like they went away. Okay. Like I had allergies, gone, no more cat allergies, because we can transform anything. So that is all. Anyway, I love you so very much. Let me see if there's anything I need to address. Has anybody asked me any questions? Like about the full moon in Aries and being true to yourself and being a warrior for yourself and really being aligned and loyal to yourself. One of the things that I'm very aware about is that I don't give my loyalty to anyone, ever. Ever. My loyalty is only for me. Because one of the things that I have discovered is that when we do this loyalty thing with another, if that person does something that really is not aligned with you, you have aligned yourself with their energy, and that's and then you take on that karma. Everybody has to do things their own way, right? Like I have the North Node in Aries, so I don't give my loyalty to anybody ever. Ever. Maybe my child a little bit, maybe. But I do know that in my parenting, it's most important for me to be an example of how to be, and not because they're going to do what they see you do and not what you say. So loyalty is very, very, very significant. And loyalty is definitely a part of this Aries energy. Thank you for moving us through this Mercury retrograde with such depth and truth. Oh, thank you. It was my absolute pleasure. I just popped in, but can you give any insights on what it means when you're accident prone? No, I don't know what that, I will say this, there are no accidents. Accidents are an illusion. Anything that happens is the universe trying to get your attention. So if you're prone to accidents, the universe is trying to tell you something. Literally, it's just really trying to get your attention. And if you want to come and have me look at your chart, I can look at it and see where your Chiron is, where your Pluto is, where your Saturn is, and what that could be. But you're ignoring something. That's what I would say about being accident prone. Yes, soul therapy to me. Yes, absolutely. Peace and love, Elder Monique. Oh, thank you. Okay, I guess I'm gonna be an elder. I guess I have all this white hair. One day I'm gonna dye my hair. Maybe. I used to dye it all the time. But it's been gray since I was 23. So I have always had a head full of gray hair. And so I dieted for many years. But one of the things I don't like about it is that people call me Miss and Elder and all that kind of stuff. And like I have a Gemini moon and I have all the Aries stuff. So I'm really eternally youthful. I do realize that I have a lot of wisdom because I've had a lot of suffering. The wisdom comes from the suffering. The wisdom comes from the suffering. And that is, okay, I think my business partners here. Yeah, so the wisdom comes from the suffering and all the stuff that I've been through in my life. Hey, honey. Yeah, I am. I'm on live. Yeah, so that's where the wisdom comes from. But really, you know what I mean? I'm as youthful and I'm as youthful as anybody I know. Honestly, I just, so sometimes I get a little weird when people do the kind of elder thing for me because I'm like, not really. Not so much, not so much. But I honor it. I respect it. I really do. I really do. I'm not mad at it because I understand it. But I really am a child at heart and silly and fun and all the stuff that most that elder thing doesn't really align to. Okay, you all. Peace and blessings. Have a beautiful day. I will be I'll be back tomorrow. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.